Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel. If you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. In this video, I'll be talking about how to stay motivated and committed, especially when you're not seeing results. And this is in the context of weight loss over 40. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I manage a luxury lifestyle management business in London. My content is largely educationally focused and geared towards people new to money. But from time to time, I will do vlogs that are lifestyle focused, and it'll always be about a topic that is of particular interest to me, and I'll be able to chime in from my own experience. About 3 months ago, I posted for the very first time on Instagram, and it was a series of street style fashion pictures, and it was all in anticipation of launching my YouTube channel as a way of raising my profile on my social media channels. And the response I received from those pictures was mind-blowing, to say the least. I hadn't expected it or even anticipated it would be to that extent. And furthermore, the private messages I got from a lot of my old school friends, well, how have you done it? You haven't changed that much from school. What is your exercise? What do you eat? What's your exercise routine and so forth? And one of my old school friends is the one who actually motivated this vlog. We've been talking for the last 3 months, and at her heaviest, she was 83 kilos. She's currently sitting at 58, and she would like to hit 50 kilos. And so we've been talking as she's getting to the last 8 kilos. She's thinking, how am I going to do this? I'm tired, I'm bored, I'm demotivated. And I give up. I'm motivated at one point and then I give up. What should I do to see myself through? And so we've been talking, and I've been giving her my advice based on everything that I have done and what I think could help her. But before I go into what you can do when you're feeling demotivated, is just give you a bit of background so you understand me and my journey and where I'm coming from, and therefore my input and what my angle is. I have been blessed with the most forgiving genes, so that has played a big part in my weight loss journey. My genes, and coupled with the fact that my mother's first career was as a nutritionist. So from as early as when I could first speak, I grew up understanding the absolute importance of having a nutritionally well-balanced diet. And so as a teenager, early 20s, I talked to my mom about all sorts of faddy diets and trends and things that were happening from friends and colleagues at work. And you're at an age where you're impressionable and should always very coherently tell me why I shouldn't do something because of the long-term implications. When you're older, your skin will become sallow, or your bone density will go down, or you'll have brittle bones, and the short-term symptoms as well of some of these conditions if you cut out whole food groups and things like that. And I never really veered away from what she taught me, which was very much clean eating and freshly prepared food, and the emphasis was very much on the quality of the ingredients, and also exercise, which I got in abundance from school. But I would, as you get older, you get caught up with eating out a lot of convenience food, the fast life, and you have fun. And then fast forward to my late 30s, and I'm thinking I want to have children, but it's going to be in my 40s. And I spoke to my doctor, and she said to me, the biggest issue, apart from the quality of your eggs going down, is that people are getting caught up with a lot of lifestyle conditions, such as high blood pressure and diabetes and so forth. And if you can help yourself and make sure your health is at its best, you circumvent a lot of these issues. And I then realized I need to go back to basics. I need to go back to how I was raised in terms of how I ate and thought about food. And I need to get myself back on track if I want to have children in later life. Once I hit 38, it was now down to the clean eating. There was no processed food. And a number of dietary decisions were made for me. For example, dairy, I had developed an intolerance quite early on, so that had been cut out. But I went back to basics and make sure I cleaned up my diet. So that really helped me, because by the time I hit 40, I was on track. I could see that a lot of my excess fat, the toxins in my body were disappearing. It was just a very good time for me. And then as I hit 40, I've just continued to maintain, and there's a cumulative effect of just the improvements that I see. But one thing I'd like to point out is that we live in a society that's very much focused on instant gratification, where people want to lose the weight now or see results immediately. I'm very old school, and that's my approach going forward, and you'll notice from my recommendations, I'm very much about the basics that everybody knows. And just keep it simple. They are slow, the results are slower, but they're consistent and sustainable. So it's, as I've said, the clean eating, it's freshly prepared food, and it's from quality ingredients and coupled with exercise. But before I give you my thoughts, there are 4 cornerstones of weight loss which have served me well personally. There are 4 cornerstones that I have figured out as I've gone along, but I'm sure a lot of you are aware of some of them. But the importance of them in laying the foundation for my weight loss journey has meant that when I've gone through really tough times, it's been easier to ride the storm and see myself through to the other side. The first cornerstone is get in the right headspace. It's not easy losing weight, particularly as my friend who was 80, she's now at 60, she wants to hit 50. You are going to hit curveballs, you're going to plateau, the weight loss is going to slow down, and you're going to be demotivated. What am I going to do? You take your eye off the goal and you start eating again, or you do things that are detrimental to your health. You need to remain focused. You need to get in the right headspace that whatever happens to you, you keep focused on the goal and you don't take your eyes off that goal. The second cornerstone is a good understanding of the correlation of food and weight loss. I talk to a lot of people, and sometimes I'm a bit surprised that, people don't get that fundamental thing that weight loss is 80% down to the food you eat and only 20% the exercise that you do. The food and the quality of your food plays a very big part. Please do not underestimate that. The third cornerstone is be intentional about your goals. So whether it's to get fitter, it's to lose weight, or to tone up, be intentional. Know what you want to achieve and how you are going to achieve it, how you're going to go about it, what exercises are you going to do, what are you going to eat. Think through the whole process and be deliberate and do what you need to do. And then the fourth cornerstone is have a picture in your mind's eye of what you will look like when you've achieved your goal. So whether you're fitter, can you run a marathon in under 3 hours? Body-wise, what weight will you be? What will your body look like? What will you feel like? You need to think of all those things. Have those in your mind's eye, because when you think of yourself, when you look at yourself, that is what you need to see. Not the work in progress, not the fat person or the unfit person, but the person who you want to become. One thing I did at 38, and I had this outfit up for 2 years, is I had a jumpsuit that I really liked. It was a bit snug around my legs, and I really wanted to wear it comfortably, where it was loose and it flowed and it wasn't tight anywhere around my thighs. And I had it hung up by my wardrobe for 2 years, and I'd always look at it when I wake up, when I go to bed, walking around my room, and it really kept me on track. And I appreciated doing that, because when I eventually got to put it on and I was able to fit into it, it just made it all worth it. What do I recommend when you've hit that point where you've plateaued or the weight loss has slowed down? You need to shock your body. You need to do something different. You need to mix things up. You need to keep it fun. You need to keep it something that you enjoy doing. So, for example, someone who has stayed active like myself, for example, I can still afford to do a lot of cardio, really intense, hardcore stuff. But if you're somebody who hasn't exercised, you've taken a long break and you're starting again, if you do something that's too strenuous, you will start to create a hormone called cortisol, and that actually helps you gain weight. One thing you need to be really aware of when you turn 40 is that your body is not the same as what it was in your 20s. So you need to find something that works for you, something that is right for you, and something that is the best for you. Something that a lot of people underestimate is walking. Walking is highly effective for weight loss. It's easy, and it's pretty much cost-free. It's something you can do with a partner. My partner and I walk in the evenings. It's our time to bond in the relationship. We're very continental. We have dinner and then go for a long walk. We've become quite competitive, but it's a time to talk for our relationship and a time to exercise. So we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can do the same with friends. South Africa, we have gated communities. Other ladies in the community, you become competitive about it. You challenge each other. You motivate each other. You could walk with somebody over lunch at work. Your lunch hour, you go for a walk. Just incorporate it in your life. The other thing that really works is hot yoga. I enjoy it. It's great for expelling toxins. It's different. You're doing exercises that you think, what am I really doing? But it's highly effective, and I would recommend. The secret is just switch it up. Keep yourself going. Give yourself something that pushes you a bit out of your comfort zone. Walking for longer periods of time than you're used to. Walk to work. Walk from work. The other thing is your food. Food is, I cannot talk enough about food. You will get bored of me. But tweak your food. So whether you're somebody who snacks, stop snacking. I'm not a fan of snacking. I do not snack. I have not snacked for 5 years. I have 3 square meals, but I find now I tend to have 2, and that's a sign of the times, because I'm so busy. So I'll have a very big breakfast, and then I have a big gap, and then I tend to have late lunch about 3 or 4, and it's a big meal, and then I don't eat again until the next morning. So I end up fasting for 14 or 16 hours. So it's intermittent, and I've really noticed the benefits. But that has happened either because of work or for religious reasons. I do fast at certain points during the year, and I've just noticed the difference it makes. I am more than happy to talk about that if it's something of interest to other people. But normally it's 3 square meals. I eat food in its most natural state, so it's always whole grain, whole meal. And I have found that the sensation I feel when I'm hungry after having eaten something wholemeal is very different to something that is processed. When I'm hungry after something processed, I'm absolutely ravenous, and I'm prone to grabbing something that's really bad and just unhealthy because I'm just hungry. I feel awful. My blood sugar levels are all over the place. So the other thing with food is, don't become too militant, because you become stressed out with the fact that you're not enjoying yourself. Have a cheat day if you need a cheat day. When you go out with friends and family, enjoy yourself, indulge a little, but then 90% of the time be very disciplined. It's important to still enjoy life and to make the most of it and not cut things out. Life is still to be lived. The other thing I'd like to point out is sleep. Sleep is absolutely crucial. You need to get a good night's rest. It's important for your well-being. If you don't sleep well, you're not able to exercise, and also has an effect on your hormones and whether you're able to lose weight or not. Stress is another big one. You need to find a way of letting stress go. You need your strength to fight the battles the next morning. You need to sleep. You need a good night's rest. You need to find a way to just switch off. Stress is going to be your biggest enemy, especially when it comes to weight loss. That I know, and I've learned over the years to just switch off. No matter how bad the situation is, you need your strength the next morning to fight whatever that battle is. What else would I recommend? Going back to food. Sugar, you need to cut out sugar. Sugar is evil. You will notice the minute you cut out sugar how your moods come down. It's something that's just going to happen. If you cannot totally cut it out, then substitute things like with things like honey, for example, or natural sugar from fruit. The other thing is, don't keep junk food in the house. Eat it outside, eat it wherever you are, eat it at a party, at a wedding, but don't buy it and keep it in the house. The temptation is too great for you to snack on it in a moment of weakness. The other thing is drinking a lot of water. That is really helpful. How else can you motivate yourself? Enjoy the successes. You are going to have points where you do lose a bit of weight. Enjoy that. I talk about the clean living. There are no faddy bits to what I do. It's just plain and simple. It's consistent, and the weight loss is sustainable. But when you do lose something or you achieve a milestone, enjoy it, celebrate it, and then move on to the next thing. But you can't always be searching. You need to be happy and enjoy something for that point. I'm at a point where I've achieved what I want to achieve, and it's just now maintaining, and I'm enjoying that point. But I would love to have conversations with other people who need a bit of a motivation, a bit of a kick, who need a bit of a helping hand. It's a topic I'm passionate about and I enjoy. I've enjoyed this. It's been fun, and I hope my friend is motivated by this. There's some points that she can pick up on. Till next time, thank you for watching. Do subscribe and take care.